Andrew is a top scholar, earning a 4.12 and graduating maximum cum laude. He's a member of the varsity football team, National Honor Society, Brick Brothers, Student Ambassadors, Mock Trial, and is a 4-year member of Student Council, this year serving on the ASB. His involvement in St. Francis knows no boundaries, whether it is the golden voice of Andy Candy on the announcements, charming the Chilean students on the St. Francis immersion trip to Santiago, or entertaining the audience as the co-host of the International Showcase. He has a keen sense of service, a devotion to Holy Cross, and a unique wit, which I believe we will experience this morning. Andrew will take all of his talents and his enthusiasm to Vanderbilt next year. Please welcome our first graduation speaker, Andrew Sundaram.
Go, Andrew.
Ladies, gentlemen, esteemed faculty, relatives who showed up because you're not allowed to say no to family, allow me to tell you a story. This is a love story, and it all started 4 years ago when a boy got dropped off from his morning carpool. Let me tell you, it was love at first sight. He noticed this beauty, which is the type of beauty you only see in movies. There's this undeniable intelligence. And believe me, he blushed when someone caught him staring at that gigantic tree. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. That is the moment that I fell in love with St. Francis High School. And now I'm getting emotional thinking about having to say goodbye. And the amazing thing is that we all have that one moment where we fell in love with this high school. Maybe it's that one teacher who made you learn in a way that you didn't even think you could. That one person, that one teacher who tapped into your love of learning. Maybe it's that one coach who pushed you to be a better athlete than you ever thought possible. Or maybe it's that one person on campus who showed you unconditional love and support when you needed it the most, but expected it the least. It is a hard thing to have to say goodbye to the kinds of memories and traditions that exist at St. Francis. It's also a really hard thing to say something at a high school graduation that hasn't been said before. First, there's the classic Dr. Seuss quote, "Don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened." Then there's, "This isn't the end, it's only the beginning." Then there's the obligatory Kanye West quote, "Believe in your flyness, conquer your shyness." And the funny thing is, about all these cliches, is that they give us confidence, and they instill confidence into us, when so much in our life right now is the exact opposite of that. We're traveling all across the country. We're going to new places that we've never been before. We're leaving behind most of our close friends and family, and by the way, we need to find out what to do with the rest of our lives. Everything's changing. And sure, it's all exciting and it's new, but if I'm being totally honest, I'm scared. Everything's changing. But the one thing that's never going to change is our relationship with St. Francis High School. As is true with all great love stories, there are some things that we're going to take with us for the rest of our lives. We are never going to forget the bonds that we made with our classmates and our best friends. We're never going to forget our entire student section running out after a basketball game to protect the bay tree after we lost a belt. We're never going to forget spending the best $60 of our lives on a liturgy sweater we wore twice. Unforgettable moments. And then there's the education aspect of school as well, because it turns out this whole graduation process is a celebration of academic achievement. No, we may not all remember who the first president of the United States was. Answers George Washington for all my history teachers. And we may not remember how to say this word turkey in Spanish. Answers El Pollo Especial for all my Spanish teachers out there. And if you're an actual Spanish speaker, my last answer is proof of why I'm retaking Intro to Spanish in college. No, we're not taking with us specific classroom knowledge. We're taking with us the knowledge of how to learn, and how to learn not only in a classroom, but in real life and from everyday lessons as well. We have all these memories, and when you think of memories, it's only natural for you to think of legacy. Not only what are we going to remember, but how are we going to be remembered by others? Yes, we will be remembered for the WCAL and CCS championships, but we're also going to be remembered for having one of the most spirited student sections in St. Francis history. We will be remembered for performing more than 34,800 hours of community service, but we're going to be better remembered for changing lives, for impacting people every day, for traveling all around the world on immersion and making a difference. And yes, we will be remembered for having the most national merit finalists and for sending students to the broadest range of colleges in St. Francis history. But a lot of us are going to be remembered as students who broke precedent. Students who tried to attain the highest grade possible while doing the least amount of work possible. That's a legacy right there. We were never afraid to reach for the stars, to do great big things, to hold ourselves and our peers to higher standards. And our legacy is one of innate resilience. You know how I know that? It all started freshman year when we walked into our first rally. We heard the Go Home Freshman chant. Did we get overly sensitive? Did we just take it? Did we just sit there? No, we did not. Instead, we chanted back that this was in fact our house. And for the first time as a class, we established our role in St. Francis. That was something special. And then, our character was tested when a pillar of our community came under attack. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, E. coli hit Chipotle. It was a difficult time in our community. But did we let the fear of infectious disease stop us from consuming burritos? No, ma'am. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Resilience and hopefulness are quite an appropriate way to end this love story with St. Francis. We've all had our fair share of challenges. We've all made mistakes. We've all stumbled and strayed while trying to find our purpose. But we've all overcome a challenge. And we've all become Holy Cross heroes of hope. And that is going to serve us best later in life. And it is because of the lessons that we have learned at St. Francis that I can confidently say, mamas and papas everywhere, we made it. And mom and dad, I don't know where you're sitting, I realize that I'm the first person in our family to not major in engineering. No, I did not make up this thing called a liberal arts education so I could party for 4 years in college. And despite the fact that I'm traveling thousands of miles away, I'm going to be all right. And the same thing goes for each and every one of us, class of 2016. We going to be all right.